Something that really interests me, that you said you do is the spreadsheets. I want
Yeah.
to know. So we were literally just talking about, I don't know when you came in, but we were literally just talking about how I've been using spreadsheets to help me analyze data, at
Mhm.
least for the last like couple weeks now. And it's kind of fascinating to see all the things that one can do with spreadsheets, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I want to know like how you got into being able to provide that as a service and what that even looks like. Like, why would somebody need you to make a spreadsheet for them? You know what I mean? Like, can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is like a whole story. So
Let's get it.
yeah, so when I started doing spreadsheets, I was working in competitive intelligence for a pricing and architecture team. So I was doing all this like financial kind of things, but that wasn't really what I did. And everyone on the team knew spreadsheets. And one of my teammates, he was emailing from the spreadsheets. Like he was automating the emails. He was like, once they say that they've sent it or whatever, it'll email out. And that just blew my whole mind. And he once was like an aerospace engineer for Delta and all these things. So in Atlanta, you can get pretty connected.
Right.
Um, so once he did that, I was just kind of fascinated in the options, and I wanted to figure out a way to automate what I was doing with the competitive intelligence and building out more of like historical data, um, be able to predict trends and stuff. Like all these ideas and options just started flowing into my head, and I wasn't really into spreadsheets at all, you know.
Right.
So I ended up working on a project, and we built out this competitive matrix where you wrote down all the pricing for your competitors, and you just tracked it every month, and you started to see these trends, and I was like, that's really crazy, kind of like even with
Wow.
charts and stuff. Yeah, like it's like,
Paint a
okay,
picture.
yeah, it's painting a picture, especially after a year or two. It's like, oh, they do this every December, you know, like this, like you can start to predict, and that's how predictions
What's
work.
like a trend that you would see happening? Is it like people lowering their prices or raising their prices, or like what would a trend look like in that particular picture?
So in that picture, it would be like seasonal, very seasonal. So like around the holidays, you kind of already knew or you suspected around the holidays they might drop prices or something. What really was interesting was around like when school started. So when working with small businesses and everything, people start making adjustments around when school's starting to get their kids ready, you know? So you start seeing that the prices actually went down, or people weren't buying as much. So there was more of that economic buy pressure happening. And then even around the US, like in California versus in New England or something, you could have the same offer. But in California, literally people will buy it if it's more money, you know? So they would have like a three,
Yeah,
5X on the price.
yeah,
Where in New England, they like, no, this is too high. They negotiate everything. They was like trying to get the bang for the buck. And you really see
Right.
how those cultural differences from like statewide actually do come into play when it comes to marketing and strategy and things like that. Um, so once I built out that matrix, I learned all these different codes that you could use to start looking up data once the spreadsheet was readable. So as long as it was like in a readable format for the computer, you could kind of plug in any formula and it'll just start spitting out graphs and information, pull
mhm.
what you need and stuff like that.
When did you
And
get to the point when you was like, "Oh, I'm about to go ahead freelance this. Like, I could definitely go branch off and
I was
Right
like,
away.
honestly, I was like, I hate spreadsheets. I quit. Like that's what happened. That's how I got into sound design and DJing and
Wow.
audio engineering. Yeah, I was like, there's like, I didn't find much purpose in it. I was working in a cable company. I didn't even have cable. Like it wasn't doing nothing for me, you know. So
Yeah.
I was like, I don't align. And when I had went back to school to do the sound design and everything, I started to. I mean, I needed a job. Like I need a job. I didn't get any scholarships for that or anything.
Where did you go to
And
school?
I went to Broward Community College down in Florida. So, and they
Okay.
have a really good program down here. They actually have a huge music education system, a lot of jazz down here too. So, if you're ever down in Florida, definitely check all the live jazz. Like, it's a hidden gem, you know.
For sure.
Nice.
Yeah, so I started freelancing, and my friend, I got hired as an Excel tech at this ad agency, and I was like, I could do this. This is easy or whatever. And I was looking at all their sheets, and I'm like, yo, all the numbers are wrong, all the formulas are wrong. There's a lot of manual labor that is causing errors. Like, we're gonna get rid of this. You know, I started putting in
Right.
formulas, stuff like that. I started like color coding things and everything, and it just like blew the girl, like it blew her away. You know, she was just like,
Yeah.
this is crazy. She was like, I don't know how you do it, but I wish I could do this. And that really sparked something in my mind, because at the time she was working towards getting to 5 million with her agency, you know, and she was like 24. And I was like,
Turning it up.
right.
Yeah,
I was like, I need to
She
think
said, I wish I could do
bit.
what you did.
yeah, right. Like, yeah, that's clicking, something clicking right now.
Straight up.
Exactly. I was like, wait, what? And we had like this retreat, and she had a like a coach consultant come in, and she was like, this is the girl who's doing the spreadsheets. She's our data architect, all that stuff. And he was just like kept talking to me. He kept hitting it off. He's like, you got to hit me up when you're ready, like da da da. And I was just like, I was really blown away, because I was like, yo, spreadsheets are boring. I don't know what's going on, you know. I'm used
But
to
I know
kind
how
of
to do this shit.
but I know how to do it.
Early.